Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Moose Minute Project. My days with this whole weekend are all screwed up. I'm thinking it's this day, and it's not, and I'm thinking it's Monday, but it's Tuesday. It just gets wild, and then it's going to get a little different due to the fact that I've got the funeral here on Saturday. So welcome to the Moose Minute Project. And foggy, was sunny, then foggy, and now we're back to fog here in Boscoville. So a little tricky drive on the way in, but all is good. So, with that said, it is Tuesday. Yep, Tuesday. In Boscoville, Wisconsin, getting ready to go into work. And you're listening to the Moose Minute Project. And few of you have tuned in quite often, and I appreciate that. If not, it's just me rambling, and it's okay. So this week, or today, I should say, not this week, but this week I've got to put some thoughts together and put pictures together, and I've gone through some pictures and found some great memories. My mom had a scorebook she kept when I was 12. It was my last year in Little League. Was part of a phenomenal team that had a 2-year run. The First National Bank. Art Mindrum, Bucky Haugen were our coaches, and Art, I know, is no longer with us. Developed a lot of friendships out of that Little League team, and we had a hell of a good team. A lot of fun. I posted earlier in that scorebook that our team had scored, 2 games we scored over 30 plus runs, but it was a lot, and it just is, it was a lot of fun to see. I pitched for that team. I was a pitcher and catcher, and just to see the teams we played against, there were phenomenal people as well. Palisade was always a tough team, and they were a little town north of Aiken. I mean, at Waukon, and, you go up north of there, and it's just, Hill City. It's kind of like the same down here if you look at Ithaca, those kind of teams that are scrappers, and they fight. They had athletes coming out galore out of that area. But it was just, those days were fun. I remember Mark Mindrum, a good buddy of mine, said, "Chris, I remember the first day you came." And I came from playing, when mom and dad separated, I came from playing. I'd already been playing baseball with the Welsh boys and a few of those guys, and I was already on a golf team here. So I'd been doing a lot because our town had so much to offer in playing. So when I walked into the ball field in Aiken, I had a boombox, big boombox. It was big on my shoulder. Walked into practice, and that first year I didn't make the team, and it was heartbreaking. And it was disappointing to me. I knew I could play. I knew I was good as far as that age group, but I didn't make the team. I think part of it was I was an out-of-town kid. Wasn't fast by any means. Was never built fast. Round tubes are not aerodynamic. That's what I've come up with. But could pitch and catch, and I knew that. So didn't make the team that year. My mom took me and said, "Here's what we're going to do. You're going to pitch all summer." I said, "Mom, I can't pitch all summer. I don't have a catcher." She says, "Yes, you do." I said, "Where?" She goes, "I'm your catcher, and I'm going to catch." I said, "Really?" She goes, "Yep, I'm going to be your catcher, and you're going to pitch all summer." So the first time we did this, she was behind, and we made a plate, and we made a mound at home, in town there in Aiken, and was also part of the Sin City Baseball League. That's where we lived in the townhomes we grew up in, that I was part of for a while, and some great athletes that played baseball out there in the middle of the townhomes as well. DJ Hatch and a few other guys, and the Lairds, and we had our own group, that played baseball every day. And but Mom wanted to catch, so the first time we did it, I threw it just a lob, you know. She's like, she grabbed me by the head and said, "This is not how you're going to become better." I said, "Okay." So threw it and threw it and threw it, and I just kept throwing harder and harder, and yep, sure enough, she was catching. But I remember one time it slid out of my hand, and I bounced it off the dirt right into her knee, and her knee swelled up, and she had a big old bruise on it. I said, "See, this is why we can't do that." She goes, "Oh, that's nothing. Don't worry about it." So, needless to say, all summer long, my mom was my catcher as I practiced for Little League, because she was damn upset that I didn't make the team, and I'll be darned if she was going to not let me, make excuses for it. So she caught for me all summer. And then I got into high school, and she'd still catch for me. And, that's who she was. Yeah, and we didn't have chest protectors or shin pads or anything like that. Mom just had a glove and had me throw to her all the time. And, that's the things that it was no excuse. I got crap all over those. There's no excuse, as a parent for her. She did everything she could. Kind of like when I got into bowling when I moved to Aiken as well. I spent a lot of time at the Aiken Lanes. And Mom said if I could never find you, I knew where you were, or you were at your, basically I think I lived there from the time I'd get out of school until, most Saturdays I was there all day, either throwing, practicing, or league, one of the two. And then I started bowling leagues and got into my adulthood, and I was bowling 3 to 4 nights a week. Mom had Meniere's disease when I was in high school. She had to learn how to walk and balance and everything.